The Arizona Coyotes coming to T-Mobile Arena tonight as VGK looks for its first win of the preseason, and they must clean up a lot more on the ice. We'll get into that. We return right here on Locked On Golden Knights.
Your Locked On Golden Knights, your daily podcast on the Vegas Golden Knights, part of the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day.
Hi again, everyone. Thanks for making us your first listen. Tony Cardasco, Chris Golick from Las Vegas. You could find us wherever you get your podcasts. Make sure you check us out as well on the YouTube channel. That is Locked On Golden Knights, and please subscribe there. So, Chris, the Golden Knights welcome the Arizona Coyotes tonight. This will be the second preseason game at home at the T-Mobile Arena. VGK comes off of that loss to the LA Kings, a game in which they blew the 2-goal lead. Arizona has a chance, I think, to be a much better team this upcoming season. Good thing they're not in the Pacific Division anymore, but in the Central Division. I've seen some preseason previews where they could be ranked as high as third or even fourth place in that division. A team on the move, a team on the rise. That includes now the likes of a Jason Zucker, Alex Kerfoot. And then they definitely secured and improved the blue line with Matt Dumba, Sean Durzi. Pretty much it should be a lot of fun to watch them, but all the buzz, all the talk during the preseason is that about Logan Cooley. My goodness, the goal he scored in Australia was unbelievable. So let's talk about Arizona, what they'll bring. And Cassidy yesterday made a really good point, because you had the Kings and the Coyotes playing in Australia. He didn't know what to expect the other night there when the Kings came calling. So in tonight's game against Arizona, do you think that they'll play their 8 or so NHL players? Or do you think we're going to see the Roadrunners again?
Yeah, that's a fair question. This is Arizona's first game since their trip to Australia, but I mean, they've also been back a lot longer. I mean, it's 48 hours since the Golden Knights played the Kings. Kings were obviously one of the other teams that was over the pond, so to speak. So I think Arizona will have the proper roster out there tonight. A couple other players, Clayton Keller. You mentioned Durzi already. I love Matthias Michelli as someone who is going
he had a good season
to
last
develop.
Year.
Yeah, exactly. Season. I mean, Jack McBain, we can go on and on and on about all the Barrett Hayton, all these. Exactly. So this is going to be a very fun team, and even the prospects we might get tonight from the Coyote side will be of much better variety than what Golden Knights fans were treated to on Wednesday evening against the Ontario Reign. So, moving on from that, should be a fun game, and I'm kind of curious to see who we see on the Golden Knights side. I think we start with who didn't play on Wednesday. And you're starting with the fourth line. Fourth line's definitely going to be out there patrolling.
They'll be out there. They'll be the top line tonight. They'll start the game. They're going to go back to
your boy William Karlsson gets the flowers tonight. Karlsson,
you think he's going to play?
I think tonight. Oh yeah, he practiced yesterday, so I mean we'll start there.
Okay.
So I think we're going to see Karlsson, Amadio, fill in the blank. If it's Comtois, that's interesting. If it's Cotter, that's interesting. Like that's, I think they probably come with Comtois because they want to see what he brings. And then the next game, I think Tuesday is when the Golden Knights' next preseason game is. Maybe that's when they try Comtois on the top line with Eichel and Marchessault, just to keep moving pieces around and see what they possibly have. Because, I mean, there's no one who has a more important camp right now than Comtois, even more than Brisson, because Brisson, he's going to be around no matter what. So this will be a big chance for Comtois to hopefully prove himself and see how he can do on a line with some vets.
Yesterday, Chris, waivers opened. And do you think that there are any potential candidates for waivers for the Vegas Golden Knights because now they have just a glut of talent. They have too much talent, to be honest. And then again, they're going to try to balance the overall salary cap.
So the biggest thing here is going to be, as I peek over my computer, right now, according to Cap Friendly, 23 of 23 rosters. That's roster spots utilized. That's important right there, number one. The second thing now to acknowledge before we even talk about possible waiver candidates is Zach Whitecloud. If Zach Whitecloud's heading to LTIR, which maybe it seems like that could possibly be the path. It's been very quiet since Whitecloud suffered the injury in what was it, Monday's game against the Avs, was it?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay, so it's been kind of quiet. They're going to get some pictures taken. We have no update. Okay, that's not good, guys. This is a pretty good modern day and age as far as medical and stuff goes. So the Golden Knights will tell everybody when they're ready to tell everybody what's going on. But if Whitecloud does go to LTIR, that at least solves a short-term issue as far as a logjam, and then they can have Comtois in the roster, in the lineup, without having to waive anybody. But sorry, I was trying to hold that one in there.
Yeah, it's a good timing. It's okay.
No. So I mean, really, if you're looking at the roster, like everyone, I believe, has to go through waivers right now as far as those who are on two-way contracts. They're not going to waive Paul Cotter. Paul Cotter will get claimed immediately by somebody. Pavel Dorofeev, they're not waiving Dorofeev. He will get claimed instantly. So Braden Pahal is...
But his name's on the cup.
His name's on the cup. Okay, fine. But Braden Pahal is... You look at defense, really the Golden Knights are pretty strong top to bottom as far as having resources after their top 12 forwards, after their top 6 defensemen. And really more or less on the defensive side, I think they are stronger. Hutton can contribute. Korzak can contribute. Miramonov at some point, hopefully he's going to come back. I mean, he's been at the game, so hopefully he's on the closer side to recovery than the later side. And, of course, Lucas Cormier, that's going to be someone else who will be possibly get some time later this year, depending on what happens with the injury. So Pahal just might be the odd man outs. The Golden Knights could waive him with the purpose of him going to the AHL, which is just another way of teams saying, don't claim my dude, please.
Yeah, but now I think it's fair game. And as we've seen in the preseason, everyone's a target on this VGK team. I think teams will go after and be aggressive with anyone that's on that waiver wire. I really do believe that, Chris.
Yeah, no, Pahal definitely is somebody who is deserving of a fringe roster spot somewhere. I mean, he passed the eye tests for his limited appearances last season. Is he top 6 material in Vegas? No. Is he top 6 material for Arizona? Possibly. Anaheim, possibly. And even some other, fringe playoff type teams, he could have a better shot at being an everyday player. Just there's a logjam in front of him right now. That might open up next year, depending on what happens with Alec Martinez. But for now, Pahal is, basically 7.5, right? Him, Hutton, and Korzak, you can split hairs which one would get the first nod, I guess.
Some of the other players for Arizona to perhaps look out for tonight, Josh Doan, the son of Shane Doan, who played for the Coyotes, had a hat trick. They did the split squad thing when they returned, or while they were there in Australia, I should say, and they played against St. Louis. He had a hat trick. They have a good mixture of youth and of a lot of the veterans that are coming back. We could see players. This team could be fun and exciting, as you mentioned. And again, in addition to Logan Cooley, who was the 3rd-round pick in 2022, he's going to stick with the team. And, Cooley was a guy, basically, that bypassed his sophomore year at the University of Minnesota. That was the kid, Chris, that said that he was going back to school, and then he saw those dollars calling there with the NHL. They did have a spot for him, and they want to get him going. So I think he'll be up with the major league team. And we could also see the 2022 number 11 pick. They've got so much. They're pretty stacked. They actually develop players there. Connor Geeky.
They have no choice.
who had 77 points in the WHL. He was there, the 11 pick in 2022. And then Maverick Lamoureux, who was the 21st pick in that same draft. And then Dylan Gunter, 2021 draft pick. A lot of talent, good mixture of youth and veterans with Arizona. And I'd like to see them play a decent lineup. At least that's what Cassidy wants to see. Better for him to evaluate, as he said yesterday.
Yeah, I mean, obviously players are going to play up or down to their competition. And, shifting back to Wednesday's game, what in the world is Mark Stone, Jonathan Marchessault, Chandler Stevenson, Jack Eichel? What are these guys going to possibly get out of that game? I mean, when those six were, when the VGK's top six were on the ice, they controlled the game. End of story. If the top six would have taken it more as a regular season game, those two lines would have had 6 goals between them. But they were out there just trying to get the timing back and stuff. It reminds me of when I'm reffing a beer league type game, like in a mid division, right? It's not like a really good division, but not a bad division. But you have that team who has all the A players playing down because they want to make sure they win that league. And then you have a team that has, they're a fringe type of C team, right? And you can't gauge any type of, it's hard to evaluate the game, Tony, like you said a second ago. So hopefully Arizona does have some more of the regulars out there. I mean, I love what they've done, like having Zucker and Dumba come in there to guide all of the rookies and new NHL players and stuff like that. And Dumba, I believe, is from Arizona, or Dumba, pardon me, is from that area. So it's like a nice homecoming for him. I mean, there's a lot to be excited about in Arizona besides the stadium situation. There's a lot going for that franchise right now. And it's unfortunate that they are in this strange strapped situation where finances are going to limit them from maybe going up to that next level.
Coming up next, Bruce Cassidy wants to be careful with the way that he uses his players. We'll talk about that. Are they overtaxing players at times, or did they last season? Get into that. We return right here on Locked On Golden Knights. Need fresh groceries for the week, but you don't have time to go to the store? Well, you need to try grocery delivery from DoorDash. You'll get everything that you want delivered when you need it, right up to the door. So make sure that you know that you have trusted DoorDash to deliver your restaurant favorites. Make sure that you get them to deliver groceries as well. You can get grocery delivery that actually delivers as well. With thousands of grocery stores to choose from, you'll find the best in your neighborhood and boost the local economy, which is so important these days with each and every order. You'll get exactly what you ordered, or they'll make it right. So sit back, enjoy quality groceries, just like you pick them yourself. And with easy substitutions right in the app and best-in-class customer support, DoorDash delivers groceries exactly how you want it. Get 50% off of your first DoorDash order up to a $20 value when you use the code LOCKED. You can use that code, again, LOCKED, at checkout. Limited time offer, terms apply. That's 50% off up to $20, no minimum subtotal, and 0 delivery fees on your first order. Again, that's DoorDash. Welcome back. Locked On Golden Knights for this Friday. Tony Cardasco, Chris Golick from Las Vegas. Busy weekend, I'm sure, for the Golick fam.
Everyone.
Hockey tonight?
Yeah, I'll be, so 3 generations of Golicks will be in attendance. I'll be, me, my dad, and little Chris will all be going to tonight's game. And Chris and my dad will be up in the season ticket seats, and then I'll be up in the press box. And maybe I can sneak little Chris up there. What do you think? Just like for about 2 or 3 minutes, let him walk around, see everything. Think I can pull that off? I don't know. We'll see.
Probably not. So Bruce Cassidy yesterday he's talking about the fact that he felt at times they might have overtaxed their players last season. He spoke about that. And what are your thoughts about the amount of minutes that we see from players? And when you think about overtaxing. The poster child would have to be Alex Pietrangelo for sure. He just gets to call the amount of minutes that he wants to play.
Yeah, but the thing is, Pietrangelo shows no signs of it. I mean, that's the thing. Like, with the amount of minutes that he played last season, yes, he was on the ice for a lot of goals that the opposition scores. Maybe it gets overshadowed because of all the minutes he is out there and all the good things that he does. But Cassidy was talking yesterday in the press conference, and it was kind of going from season 5 to season 6. Why did the team have all of the injuries, first of all? Was it because of conditioning? Or in Cassidy's words, were they overtaxing the players? In the question previous to that, Cassidy mentioned that he wants to keep Eichel's minutes below 20 while utilizing him possibly more on the power play. So this is the balance that has to exist. I mean, listen, when Jack Eichel was signed to the Golden Knights, Jack Eichel was not signed here to be what the Golden Knights hoped. Here you go, Tony. What the Golden Knights hoped William Karlsson would become, this dynamic two-way player that could score at a 40-goal pace while still playing, really good defense on both sides of the ice. Eichel was here to become a point-per-game player and do everything on the money side, if you will, of the red line, getting pucks into the net and logging a lot of assists. Well, Eichel showed the world he can play defense now, too. This is a complicated situation now because you're going to take away time from his scoring to, become more of a two-way player. And let's be clear, this is a good thing right now. This is a great thing that Eichel is growing his game and being able to do more. I know everyone outside of Vegas hates when I say this, but, you look at what Patrice Bergeron did for all that time in the league, the Selke trophies and how he's known as a two-way player and everything. His offensive stats were through the roof as well. Now, Jack Eichel is not Patrice Bergeron. He's never going to be Patrice Bergeron, but it's a good goal to strive to. Putting a bow on this as far as the minutes go, this is where Cassidy has to determine, okay, do I need Jack Eichel, the two-way player tonight? Do I need him killing penalties? Do I need him, slowing down the other team's best players? Or if it's a team that maybe doesn't have as much firepower that the Golden Knights are facing, that's when you turn Eichel loose and you play him less on the PK and make sure he's out there for more 5-on-5 opportunities to put the puck in the net while neutralizing the other team.
Oh, I did get a very funny text message yesterday because I had given my thoughts on White Cloud's condition. Someone called me Dr. Dasco. That was kind of funny, rather than Dr. Saravelli. I think it was either episode, Chris, 621, or maybe it was like 633-ish, where I said Eichel needs to shoot the puck more this upcoming season. And that's what Cassidy said yesterday, for crying out loud.
Yeah, and, Eichel does have a very good quick release. He can snipe very well, but, I'm not going to say he doesn't shoot enough. I mean, who the heck am I?
No, he's
who am I
selfish.
sitting in this little room with?
He's too unselfish. You know that he is, and he looks to build on assists and be a team player, consummate team player. No, screw that. Shoot more.
You're saying being a team player is a bad thing, Tony?
Yes.
Listen, if the Golden Knights, okay, fine. If the Golden Knights fell to the Edmonton Oilers and lost a bunch of 3-2 games in the playoffs last year, sure, fine. Yes, let's talk about Eichel becoming more selfish. Let's talk about him becoming the player that the Sabres fans absolutely despised and hated, because he did come across as that selfish player in Buffalo. In the locker room, I don't think it was as bad as people make it out to be, but everyone in Buffalo and really everyone in the 49 states that surround Nevada do see Eichel as this selfish player, as this bad locker room person and all that. Well, he's waved the middle finger at everybody as he was holding up the Stanley Cup and said, hey, look what I can do when I'm on an organization that does things the right way. Sabres fans, fine, you want to not like this, but, start chirping back at me when the team starts making the playoffs. They've had so many dynamic talents outside of Jack Eichel, so many 40-goal scorers, but the team can't find a way. So don't tell me Eichel was the problem. The Sabres management, coaching, and ownership has been the problem for the last Baker's dozen or something like that, right? It's up to 13 seasons now without the playoffs or something like that. So point being is Sure, Eichel should shoot more, fine, whatever, Cassidy. But at the end of the day, the team did pretty well last year with Eichel, the two-way player. And if the team may do even better now with Eichel, the PK, the penalty
PKer.
killer, the PK.
Yeah.
There you go. But we don't have the PK anymore in Phil Kessel, unfortunately. But it's okay.
Oh man, did he sign anywhere? No.
Not yet. I don't know if he's going to. I don't know.
Coming up next, it is the moment that you've all been waiting for. It's WTF. Well, at least we've been waiting for it. WTF, What the Friday heads your way next, right here on Locked On Golden Knights. Welcome back, Locked On Golden Knights, this Friday and weekend edition. Tony Cardasco, Chris Golick from Las Vegas. Hey, make sure, if you haven't yet, to subscribe to the YouTube channel. That is Locked On Golden Knights. We appreciate everything that you do, your comments and such. Even if you have to rip Chris, it's all good. It's all good.
No one rips me.
Okay, so it's that time, WTF. And we do have a lot of comments to get to. I'm going to start off with a WTF. So we know the Coyotes are coming into town tonight. And earlier this week, Chris, I don't know if you saw the news, Coyotes owner Alex Marullo is building a new entertainment center, a district up there in Reno at his Grand Sierra Resort. And so it will be housing. They're going to build a arena for University of Nevada, Reno, UNR, we call them around here. They hate when we do that. For their basketball program, they'll move there, 10,000 seats. And then there's also the potential construction, Chris, of a hockey practice facility that they feel would make way for minor league hockey in Reno. Now, hold the presses here. Lake Tahoe, which isn't very far away, just announced over the summer the addition of the ECHL team. And when you look at anything that happens, right, I know professional rights belong to Foley, but what about minor league hockey? And I'm asking this because the Tucson Roadrunners, which don't draw a lot, their lease expires in the 2025-26 year, the start of that season.
This is good.
Yeah.
This is good.
The start, I'm just being hypothetical here, right? Tucson Roadrunners could be that team, AHL team that moves to Reno. But is that something that Foley could block? Because their lease is over 25-26, and that's when everything should be built there in Reno. It doesn't take that long to build a hockey practice facility, and an arena I don't think will take forever the way that they put things. Well, a little slower there in Reno. But in any event,
well, they do have a sheet of ice up there already.
They do.
Yeah, remember when the Golden Knights their caravan went up there? They do have ice in Reno already, so that's the practice facility.
That's their practice facility if they need to, for sure. Yeah, but how are things going to work out there? WTF? How will things work out with hockey on the minor league level up there? Well, the Coyotes can't move there because Foley, you have to pay the Food and Wine Society some extra loot, man, if you are going to try to move a professional franchise there. But minor league hockey?
I'll give you a subset, WTF. Since when did Northern Nevada become the hotbed of hockey?
Good call.
So
well,
before we get into
it's cold and bitter there. Okay.
No pun intended. Too close to San Jose for my liking. So everyone for their takes on this Mark Stone deserves a big WTF. All right. First of all, Golden Knight fans, the hit was legal. Get over it. Okay. There wasn't a charge. Yes, Stone got targeted. That's okay. You're allowed to target in the NHL. That this isn't football. But Stone's playing the puck. His head's down. He got hit. Cassidy himself said Stone is out of position. Okay. So Golden Knight fans, WTF. Los Angeles Kings fans for celebrating this momentous victory with your ECHL and AHL players beating a roster that did have some veteran presence. It's the preseason. Who cares? It doesn't matter. Now, the only take that I will offer on the hits is that, yes, fine, Hayden Hodgson, I still can't even say his name right, nor will I ever say it after the show again because he's not that great of a player, Mark Stone. But he's going in to make the hit, fine, whatever. He's 27 years old. He's played 7 games, 3 NHL points. Good for you, kid. This is your moment. Enjoy it. But Golden Knight fans, like, this isn't that big of a deal. Stone got hit. It's okay. It's okay. On the Kings side of this, I can confidently and comfortably say there is a code of ethics, if you will, amongst the veterans. Don't think for a second that Anze Kopitar is going to run Mark Stone in the preseason like that. Do not for a second. I could be wrong, but I think Anze Kopitar is actually a Lady Bing winner too, which definitely means he's not going to do it. Drew Doughty, as much of a clown as he is, he's not even going to take that shot in the preseason on a Mark Stone or something like that. That's just a side of this game that people don't necessarily, and this is both fan bases, don't necessarily see and understand. An AHL kid trying to make a name for himself as he has his last-ditch effort to possibly get that big contract, which he's probably never going to get. But, you know, he took a shot. He made his hit. He had his moments. And forever Mark Stone put the fear of God in Brant Clark. And Brant Clark's going to be seeing Mark Stone in his nightmares from here on out. So everybody, WTF. The hit happened. It's a good hit. It's a good hockey play. Does it need to happen in the preseason? We can debate that. Fine, whatever. But it happened. Let's all move forward. WTF.
I've got a short WTF play-by-play guy. No, play-by-play guy for the Vegas Golden Knights on that new bogus app, whatever that is, calling Stone Mayo, Dyson Mayo. What? Oh, what a hit on Mayo! Go back. We got receipts, brother.
Okay.
WTF.
Okay. I didn't catch that.
I mean, how do you confuse the Captain Stone for Dyson Mayo? Okay. More on the Hodgson hit. We've got a ton of WTFs and some good takes here from all of our fine friends out there. Tyler Hillman at Tyler Hillman 14. I've heard so many people call Stone soft for having an issue with it. Yet it feels that if it happened to McDavid or Draisaitl or someone else, it would be all sympathy. This shows the VGK hate very loudly. Hashtag WTF. WTF. Maybe the hit was legal at first. First, I thought, this is from Beth Ann Jeffer, our good friend, but it definitely was intentional. Definitely was intentional. Can you explain to me, Chris, she doesn't want Dr. Dasco, Chris, why you didn't go, why didn't get a 10-minute penalty for that? Just don't understand.
A 10-minute penalty for what?
For the hit? Yeah.
Okay, so number one, you can't ever get a 10-minute misconduct for, like, a 10-minute misconduct is going to happen in some type of skirmish. It's going to happen because you're chirping the ref in a very unpleasant manner, or it's going to happen at the end. Exactly. Or it's going to happen at the end of the game. So let's say it's a 3-goal game and mayhem breaks out with 5 minutes left in the game. The first 2 players get roughs. Every single player after that that's involved, the ref just starts slapping his hips. It's like offsides. That's what the symbol is for a 10-minute misconduct in the NHL. The ref's just going to start slapping their hips and throwing 10-minute misconducts out there. You cannot get a 10-minute misconduct for hitting somebody or high sticking somebody or stuff like that. So I think the better question that the listener was asking is, why wasn't it a 5-minute major? And something we're all too familiar with in this town, that was by far not a major. It was not a minor. It was a hockey hit. Stone was playing the puck. Like, no one is looking at the shot where Stone is backhanding the puck as he gets blown up with his head down. Okay? Like, just come on, people. Come on.
Keep your head on a swivel, Mayo.
Especially veteran Mark Stone. Keep your head.
I called him Mayo. Come on. That's kind of funny. WTF. This is from Andrew Adams at AAAUT Hockey. WTF. The hit on Stone was clean. Yes. Tired of a scrum after every big hit nowadays.
Oh, that's deserving of a scrum. Come on. And that scrum's going to happen in the regular season there. If anyone gets hit like that, that scrum is going to happen. But here's my WTF about this. I guess I said I was done, but I'm not done with it.
You're never done. You're never done.
Nobody made Hodgson answer the bell. Not
just
one player.
Double H.
Yeah, 55-7.
They didn't Hodgson.
No one made 5-7 answer the bell and drop the gloves. If there's a complaint that I have about it, like Ben Hutton was very complimenting after the game was over about players standing up for each other. Yeah, they all got in there. They all had his bat. No, that's where fighting has a place in the NHL. You make that hit on someone, you square up on them, you drop the gloves and you dance. And the player at 5'7" knows that was probably going to happen, and it didn't. If Kolesar's out there, Kolesar knows his job in that circumstance, or Carrier. Or if it's the regular season, Mark Stone probably would have done it himself. So WTF there, and this is going to be probably a Tony WTF. It'd be better if Tony read it, but it's on YouTube, so I'll read it. Tony, the real question is, when is little Chris going to replace you? Bam.
Bam. I asked last week, when is he going to make his first appearance on the show?
Dude's sleeping in this morning.
Wow.
Dude's sleeping in.
What a life. This is this is from at VGK_Mucky. WTF is going to happen in the first LA VGK game this season. Is there a rivalry brewing? I don't think it's the worst thing.
There's already a rivalry there.
Well, but I don't think it's the worst thing that happened. It woke up a lot of folks here, I think. And of course, the bitterness does carry over, right?
Of course.
There's receipts.
I mean, it's a good thing. Like, listen, there's a good in this hit. Mark Stone got blown the heck up, and he got right up. That's a good thing.
Blown the heck up. At Sisyphus.
It's a family show. I can't say what I really wanted to say there.
Well, I wanted to say something else too about little Chris replacing me, but I didn't. I held back. No, just kidding.
Oh,
I want him to. So he'll
crush you, dude.
He's next up. He's the Brendan Bryson of our show.
He's Will Carrier because he wears number 28 for his hockey team.
No. He can't be Will Carrier. Carrier. WTF is up with the Golden Knights / Silver Knights positioning during the preseason. It seems a little bit out of whack. The positioning's not been great. Even Cassidy alluded to it, no?
It's preseason. Who cares? That's why it's preseason. Like, results don't matter. This means nothing besides the players developing some timing and getting their legs back. Now, we're in the spot where the roster keeps getting thinner. You're going to see more vets out there and stuff like that. I guess the question you can ask yourself, has each game gotten a little bit better than the last? And I would say so, right? Sharks game, Golden Knights got crushed, whatever.
How could you evaluate the last game? How could you evaluate the last game?
Because they had a 2-goal lead with late in the game, at least.
Okay.
And they were controlling more of the game when the Golden Knights vets were out there. They won that portion of the game. Yes, Kings fans, you guys won the game. It's okay. You won. Yes. Woohoo. But
they're raising a banner. Do you see those?
They should be raising a banner. The funniest thing about that was Alec Martinez is still in that picture looking up at it. But that's if you're going to Photoshop, go all the way and just just take
details,
his number
folks.
Off of that.
Yeah. Come on.
Details matter, bro.
Yeah. Come on, bro. At eRuns, WTF, where is our #VegasBorn emoji? We are cup champions, for crying out loud. And I told you have to pay for that, bro. I like you saying bro. That's kind of good. That's emphasis right there. #WTF. WTF. I am going to give the San Jose Sharks, just stay with me here, a little bit of credit, okay? Something that VGK should do. So nowadays, whenever you see a player that's out there, they make an appearance, it costs you money. Hey, you buy this commemorative this or that. It costs you mostly money, or they make an appearance at a sponsor site, right, Chris? So the Sharks, okay, what they're doing, and it's not like meet and greets for autographs, charge people, gouge them, what have you. The Sharks are doing something pretty cool. I thought that this was good. They are popping up at different places to meet fans. Yes, they have to do this because they need to drive ticket sales.
That's cool.
I say the shut up Tony thing, but
I put it down.
So you have Thomas Hertel and Jan Rutta appearing in the student union at San Jose State, which I think is terrific. Have they ever been on campus for UNLV where they go to the student union, go there, hang out, meet a lot of the students? I think that would be really cool. They don't do this. They didn't do this in the early days. That's what got me in a lot of trouble because I talked about the lack of marketing back in the day. Well, VGK really, like, the only time you see the players is when it's sponsored, when it's state run, for crying out loud, when it's meet and greets where you have to pay money, where it's autographs where you have to pay the dough. WTF. That's it. You know, or go around to some of the high schools. That might be kind of cool too. WTF.
The only question I have on the Sharks side of that is
Thomas Hertel in your student union is pretty darn cool.
It's cool, but they're going to college kids. They got no money. They ain't going to the games.
They're the future consumers. Once they get that first job, Chris, you got to think long term, man.
You think anyone's staying in Northern California once they get out of college? They can't afford it.
Silicon Valley, bro. Silicon Valley. Okay, man, we're going to wrap up today's show.
Let's wrap it up.
Yep, we appreciate everyone tuning in, especially our everydayers, especially for my man, Chris Golick. I am Tony Cardasco. Please subscribe to the YouTube channel, Locked On Golden Knights, and we'll see you again Monday right here on Locked On Golden Knights.